mountain zebra. Males can weigh about 750 pounds. Each one of their stripe patterns is different, like a fingerprint. And the very small tan animals, those are springbok. They get their name for their ability to spring up in the air about 6 feet. They'll do that repeatedly whenever they're frightened or excited and can reach speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And Collie cattle have huge horns that go about 6 feet in length, tip to tip. Their horns may look very heavy, but they only weigh about 15 to 20 pounds. On the inside, their horns have a hollow honeycomb-like design. Blood vessels run up to their horns and allow excess body heat to be dispersed. So it's like they have a big air conditioner on top of their head. They're also known as Watusi cattle. They're the only domesticated animals on the reserve, and in Africa they're known as a sign of wealth. On your left, African wild dogs. They're one of the most successful predators in Africa, about 80% success rate on the hunt. They hunt in very large packs, very good at communicating with each other, and they can run about 40 miles per hour for about 3.5 miles without getting tired. They're also known as painted dogs for their very unique markings, which are so unique they can tell each other apart that way even from a distance. Each one of their coats is different, like a fingerprint, very unique like the zebras. All those tall orange cones there, we're going to see some up ahead here as well. Those are termite mounds. They're made of dung, saliva, and dirt. Elephants love to use them as scratching posts. Smaller animals and creatures like lizards, scorpions, and ants will use them as shelter from bad weather, to hide from predators, maybe as a lookout post. All kinds of cool things the termites provide just by making those. So even the smallest creatures you might not notice or think of at first, they're very important and they play a really big role.
Right here.
So as I come around this turn, you might see the group of zebras one more time. A group of zebras is called a dazzle. And then over by the dazzle of zebras, there's also some wildebeest. There's some here too. So wildebeest can stand and walk within just 15 minutes of being born. Each year, 1.5 million animals, including the wildebeest, will migrate about 500 to 1,000 miles, part of what's called the Great Migration. They could go about 5 days without drinking any water. They're also known as gnus, spelled like G-N-U, for a very low grunting sound that they make. And then I see some Maasai giraffes over on the right side.
See that?
A group of giraffes is called a tower because they're the tallest animals in the world. The tallest living giraffe is 18 feet tall and 5 inches. Even a baby giraffe is about 6 feet tall. Within just an hour of being born, they're able to stand and walk. Just like their relative, the okapi, they have a super long tongue. Giraffes' tongues are so long, they're about the same length as my forearm, from my elbow all the way to my fingertips. And their tongue is a dark purplish black color that helps prevent sunburn on their tongue, because about 16 to 20 hours per day, they're walking around browsing the trees eating, and they use their long, prehensile tongue to grasp at the leaves. More giraffes on the left there.
Look at that.
If you look on top of their head, they have bones with pom-poms. Those are called ossicones. Male and female giraffes have them, and then their relative, the okapi, only males have them. So the okapi that we saw in the forest was a female. She didn't have any ossicones.
Wow.
So all the broken down trees here. Pretty good sign we'll spot some elephants. I don't know if we definitely will, but I'll tell you some things about them along the way.
A sugar cane. Oh, I thought.
I don't see anything just
There's
yet
a monkey
for elephants,
over there,
but on
look.
the left I see mandrills. They're the largest
monkey over
monkeys. They have bright colors on their face and their backside. They get brighter as they get more excited. They also have pouches in their
Look,
cheeks
over there.
and store a stomach-sized amount of snacks to save for later. They're just like Rafiki. In Swahili, Rafiki means friends. The way that mandrills say hi to each other is by baring all their teeth like a big smile.
Look, it's over there. Sitting.
Look, there's a baby mandrill. She's hopping through the bushes back there. Maybe you'll see her. She's a baby girl. If you were able to see the baby, her name's Olive. Alright, so I'll tell you a story about the elephants. We'll see if we spot any up ahead. So, the elephants, they love to break down the trees to get some nutrients from them. However, because of their habitat loss, they started getting pushed into areas they really should not have been into to try to find some more food. They started to raid farmers' crops in Africa. Now, they didn't mean any harm. They were just looking for some food. You know, they were hungry. But whenever the elephants are eating, they can be very destructive animals. So they kind of accidentally destroyed the farmers' crops, and that made the farmers quite upset and put the elephants into some serious danger. However, on our reserve, some researchers discovered that elephants really don't like bees, and that's actually helping to save them. A project began called the Elephants and Bees Project. They started to line the farmers' lands in Africa with beehive fences. So whenever the elephants get too close, they'll hear the buzzing of the bees and they'll back off. So it saves the farmers' crops, very good for the bees, gives the farmers honey to sell, and it saves the elephants from getting themselves into some danger. But back to the beginning of the story, they were raiding the farmers' crops because of their habitat loss. They were hungry, they needed some food. So there's things that we can do to help prevent further loss of their habitat. So to help out the elephants and tons of other animals too, it helps if we recycle our old cell phones and electronic devices which contain minerals that come from their habitat. Also, if you're buying anything like paper, wood, or coffee, it helps to look it up first to make sure they're coming from sustainable resources. And it helps to spread awareness to stop the purchase of any ivory. We lose elephants at a very fast rate still due to them being poached for the ivory in their tusks. Now, all throughout the safari, I'm naming many things that we can do to help out the animals, and I know it does sound quite overwhelming sometimes if you don't know where to start. So what I suggest is just figure out what animal is your favorite and start there. Find one or two simple things you think you might be able to do, and then once you get the hang of it, you can learn some more. Maybe